breakfast are made possible thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Tom and Kathleen Donnell and Mr. and Mrs. Gary and Kathleen Piper. We are so grateful for their continued support. Also a special thank you to Charles Construction for sponsoring our keynote speaker, Dr. Brenda Combs. Have a list of a few others that we would like to thank today. We have Sinks Flowers. They have provided the beautiful centerpieces on your table. And if you notice, there is a bookmark at your table, and if you turn it over and you have the Welcome to a New Life logo on the back of your bookmark, you get to take home the centerpiece. Thank you, Sinks. We would also like to thank Bon Cure Bakery for the delicious cookies at your table, City Apparel for making those unique bookmarks and these little seed packets. Also Finley Country Club for your hospitality and this delicious breakfast. Jay Warrington Visual Creations for today's videos that you will be watching a little later. And also Red Tornado Collective. Tamara, thank you for video recording our event today. And last but not least, we'd also like to thank Dr. John and Denise Malakis and Alyssa Sharninghouse for helping at the registration table this morning. Hopefully you were greeted with smiles. I believe you were. Also, Patty Ayers and our amazing staff for all the work that's been done behind the scenes to make this event possible. 6 years ago, this room would have been empty. Look around. Today it is overflowing with people who believe in our mission in supporting our mentees to live drug-free, crime-free, productive lives. Every milestone reached, every life touched, and every goal met has been made possible because of compassionate supporters like all of you. It is a partnership that fuels real impact. We're just getting started, and we're honored to have you on this journey. Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite Don Campbell up to offer our invocation.
Thank you. Would you join me in prayer? Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, we come to you today full of gratitude. Gratitude for so many things and so many people, especially for the gift of this ministry within our community, for the mentees themselves who come forward and accept this challenge in their life. We thank you for the gift of the mentors, for the staff, for the board, for all those who give so generously of their time and talent, the donors who help to make this ministry grow over these years. We thank you for the food that's been prepared for us this morning and those who have served it. We are grateful for many things in our lives. Each of us have personal reasons to be grateful to you, Lord, today. And we lift those up to you. And we offer this all through your Son, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. This is unreal. Dow just got up here and offered to find grace for this breakfast, but when you look at that gentleman, you talk about the grace and the blessings and miracles. Dow developed a horrible cancer about over a year ago, and he's up here today to be able to do this. Didn't know whether he's going to make it or not, but Dow, God bless you. God bless the good Lord. You're here with us. Glad to have you here, buddy. I've been asked to introduce Robert Sprague. He became a state treasurer in January 14th, 2019. Robert was brought to the office of treasurer that's serving the lives of the citizens of Ohio in several ways. Time does not permit mentioning each time. It would take too much away from his remarks in the program. Robert first entered the public service here in Finley, where he developed a commitment to strong physical strength as our city auditor and treasurer. Following those roles, he balanced the city's budget. He helped finance a massive recovery after the historic floods and the 2008 recession. He then made his way to serve as our 83rd District of Ohio House of Representatives from 2011 to 2018. During Robert's time in private sector, he has project lead at Ernst & Young, working on high-profile engagements with Fortune 500 companies before forming his own consulting companies. Robert graduated from Duke University with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering and later earned a master's degree in business administration with emphasis in the finance from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. That's two competitive universities down there. I wish to add that his commitment to public service is matched only by the love of his family. He and his lovely wife Amanda are the proud parents of 5 children, and they continue to live here in our city, and we thank you. I wish to add that I have had the pleasure of knowing Robert's fine families when I first came into them many years ago. Over the years, and the family is an example of integrity and character of what all families should strive to be. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Robert Sprague, who will be honorary treasurer, the next Secretary of State for the state of Ohio.
Thanks. In case you're wondering, Puck might be the best politician in the room, but and he's also the reason for me being here, and I'm sure most of you in the room. Can we please thank Puck Rowe for what he's done? I want to send a big thank you out to Carla Benjamin. Carla, you have done a fantastic job organizing this event. Thank you so much for doing this. We give Carla a round of applause. Tom and Kathleen Donnell and Gary and Kathy Pfeiffer really appreciate your incredible support of this event and this program. And I see so many of our judges, sheriffs, sheriff's deputies, law enforcement officials, public officials, and community leaders here in the room today. I just want to say, you know, I was on the steps of the State House just on Tuesday, and we were giving some prayers for our state and our community. And I thought, as I was reflecting on the title, Welcome to a New Life, that's a little bit like what Jesus told Nicodemus, you have to be born again. And I don't know if that was the intent as the program got started, but it struck me as I was kind of reading through the book of Acts. You know, so many of those apostles really were persecuted and gave their lives, they ended up giving their lives for their beliefs and for God's kingdom. And it's so beautiful what's happening here within the hearts, not just of the people that are part of our program, but in our community. As we come and we surround them, we love them, and we embrace them. And I think that's what this morning is all about. I got to tell you, we cannot rely here in Findlay, Ohio, or our small communities around the state, for the state to set up programs to save us. That is something that I realized as state treasurer. And as I think, and I traveled to different communities, I remember when I was first going to run statewide. Can you hear me okay? Or is it a little bit funny? Is that okay? Okay. You'd think I'd figure that out, Carla, right? You'd think I'd be good at that by now. I knew I could do this job. I'm talking with Tom Reagan. He ran for lieutenant governor with Ken Blackwell. I was sitting down with Tom for lunch. I said, Tom, what did you learn about running statewide? And he said, Robert, he said, you know that person that stands up, I was in the House of Representatives, stands up on the floor, and you think that person is crazy what they're saying. He said, you'll go to their district in Ohio, and everybody in their district believes exactly what they're saying on the floor of the House. And we are a broad state, we're a diverse state, we have a lot of different needs. And let me tell you, if you go to East Cleveland, where I'm going to head later on today, it's very different than Findlay, Ohio, and Findlay is different even than if you go to Marietta, Ohio, down on the river. And my point here is, you can't craft statewide solutions that fit every single community in our state. So it's up to us to be able to pull ourselves up and come together as a community. This is where the rubber meets the road. Right? It's not in Washington, D.C., it's just not. Even though that's what you see on the news, it's not what happens in Columbus, it's what happens right here in Findlay. And so I just want to say a big thank you to all of you for coming out and making a difference in our community and helping our great community move forward. May God bless you and keep you. May He turn His face to shine upon you. May He give you peace. And thank you for being here this morning and embracing this program in our community. Thank you.
All right. I give him a hard time. Let's see if I don't do feedback. Thank you, Robert, we appreciate all that you do for our community and for our state. We really do appreciate all that you do. I want to take a moment and recognize some very important people who make our mission possible. Our board of directors, advisory committee, and staff. Thank you for your dedication and leadership. You guide our mission with wisdom, compassion, making every decision we make stay rooted in hope and impact. Your behind-the-scenes work and unwavering belief in our vision keep us moving forward. We couldn't do this without your commitment to second chances and new beginnings. I want to give a special shout out to Captain Sterrett for his help in gathering information for our 2024 impact report. Thank you so much for that. And the advisory committee that helped kind of look over everything as well. I want to say I am blessed. Our mentees, our mentors, our staff, we are blessed. I'm blessed with a wonderful board that I could pick up the phone and call at any time. I could send an email and say, hey, I need help. I do my lifelines a lot. And they are always so willing to help. If I could have my board, staff, advisory committee stand to be recognized, that would be wonderful. Our mentors. You are the heart of our program. Mentorship is our foundation that Stan and Puck Rowe founded this in. None of this would be possible without you, and that is what our program is about, mentorship. Thank you for walking alongside our mentors, one life at a time, one moment at a time. I was honored to be part of a presentation that Gary and Kathy brought in a keynote speaker in with Children's Mentoring Connection, and heard an author speak and talk about his experience as a child going through the foster care system. And when he talked about the lighthouse effect, he talked about the ripple effect, and he talked about how sometimes as a mentor, you might not know the finished product. You might not know the impact that a mentor will make in your life and it's the generations to come. Please know that what you're doing will make an impact, a lasting impact for generations to come. To honor your impact, we are placing this plaque in our boardroom, and it will serve a lasting reminder of the ripple effect that you've created, changing the lives of your generations to come. Those who are present here today, past or present mentors, please stand to be recognized. And these is a list of our mentors that we've had. We're actually becoming somewhat official now, so I'm really actually proud of ourselves. I want to thank our donors. Your generosity makes everything possible. Because of you, we've been able to support mentees with gas cards, cab vouchers, food gift cards, car repairs, emergency needs, and more. Since we began, we've connected with over 320 plus individuals. We are currently working with 63 mentees. Referrals come from probation, FRC, nonprofits, family, and friends, each person at a unique stage in their journey to a new life. Over the past 6 years, we've celebrated countless moments and milestones, from drug court graduations, earning GEDs, diplomas, getting driver's license, buying first cars, getting apartments, jobs, family beautifications, births of babies. I don't have any grandkids myself, but I always say I'm like a grandma like 9 times. Well, I recently had twins, right? One of my twin babies is right there. Months and years of sobriety, baptisms, weddings, new babies, like I said, and the list goes on. And it gives joy to our heart in our office. Staff and myself, we say all the time, we're always crying. I mean, we have boxes of tissues we always go through. all of your support, all of our supporters, and all of our community partners, all of this is possible because of you. You believed in our mission that started 6 years ago. You believe that mentorship works. You believe that people can recover. You bring hope for today and for generations to come. So thank you. So this year, we were blessed with a $9,000 grant from the Handbags That Help to launch our new Welcome to New Life closet. With an additional support from donors like Amazon, we were able to get shelving. American Plastics donated some plastic tubs, Chopin Hall with some goods, the TBL Accord, and many others who gave us items or volunteered their time. This closet now meets urgent needs for justice-impacted men and women returning to our community from prison or those in our local jail. So we want to thank you for that. We are so blessed to have had so many people part of this journey with us already. And it's pretty cool to see so many people that are now utilizing some of the whites. We go to the jail and drop off some, things that they might need. And so we are really excited about that opportunity. We want to thank our mentees for letting us walk with this journey with you. We are honored to stand beside you and partner with the many incredible agencies, treatment teams, justice system allies, churches, and community organizations that support you along the way. We appreciate you. We love each and every one of you. And we are so proud of every step that you're making to better your life, for yourself and for your family. Our mentees, you are breaking the cycles, and you are building new futures for generations to come, one day at a time. We always tell people, we're not asking for perfection. We're just asking you to try. Try hard every day, one day at a time. Now I'd like to share a short video from one of our friends, Raina, as she shares part of her story with you.
Hi, my name is Raina Ortega. I'm a recovering addict. I was incarcerated at Dayton Correctional Institution, and I was released in January of 2024. I have 4 kids, Ruben's 16, Remy's 8, and Ramona's 7, Renee's 4. Heard about New Way of Life through a lady I went to church with. She had said that I should get in contact with Carla. I don't know, there's just so much I could say about Carla because she just is phenomenal. Every time I go in there, she's always like, hi, mija. Just like, I love that lady. I love everybody there, but she has a special place in my heart. And the first day I called her, she was so sweet and just, yes, we would love to meet if you can come in, I didn't know much about them. I was really scared when I got home. I needed all the help I could get. Didn't want to go back to the same things that I was doing. I didn't really have anything when I came home. It's hard to run from things that run in my family. Me being a drug addict, my parents were both drug addicts. 6 of those kids, 4 of them were drug addicts. And one of them's died. We lost my little sister to a drug overdose. So I went and met with Carla, and she hooked me up with a mentor. I remember just telling her, I want to be the one that changes things in my family. I want to be the one that ends the cycle. This is where it stopped. I have kids. I don't want that for them. Me already being away from them already, my son was 8 years old when I started using. The relationship that we have today, him and I couldn't even, being in, just sitting in prison with him was he didn't want to talk to me on the phone. He didn't want anything to really do with me. The last birthday I got to celebrate with him was his 13th. I got to celebrate my son's 16th birthday this year, in December of 2024. I was in his bedroom. He's got his own room. I went in there and I was like, how was your day today? Did you have a good birthday? And he's like, yeah. He's like, because you were here. And that, it did something because I haven't been there. Just my kids coming home to their own home is so amazing. They have a lot of amazing people there that are willing to just help you for no reason, because they want to see you do good, because they want you to succeed, because they don't want you to go back to jail. They're just always so proud of me, and they're like, gosh, you've come so far. If you could see the Raina that walked in here to the Raina now. And I'm just like, okay, you guys stop, I think I called and they were like, girl, we're so proud of you, you know, like we knew you could do it. I just hit a year up my job. I've never had a job longer than 30 days. Okay, they sent me a little cute note and it was so sweet, and they're like, you know, we just want to let you know we're really proud of you. Like, those things matter. They really do, and they'll just check in on me. I just have like so much gratitude for that whole place and who I am today. I wouldn't say like, no, I would say I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for them. I wish more people could just go and just be there and just know them and see what they really want for you. They don't do it because like it's the best paying job, I'm sure. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, when they're involved with people there, and do you know, every time something major happened or nothing major happened, I called them because those were my people. Like, they are still my support system. I just got my license after being suspended for 10 years. And who did I call? I called them. And they were like, oh my gosh, congratulations, girl, we're so proud of you. You need people like that. One thing about my mentor, she is so great. When I met her, I had already had like a connection to her. Her name's Karen. I already knew her. Just her coming from the same struggles that I've come from make things so much easier to connect with. And she has just been so great. And the things that she's doing now, man, I don't even know. Like, I'm really proud of her. We went to lunch a couple times. She goes to the jail and does like meetings, I think. I seen her, like, I follow her on everything. And I seen that she posted that the other day, and she was like, it's so nice to get to go in here and share, you know, and then get to go home. I want to do things that she's doing. I want what she has. The things that she's doing now, I'm like so proud of her. Like, she's come from where I've come from. You know, her struggles were my struggles. Like, we can relate on so many levels. And what she's doing now, I just am like, oh, that's gonna be me one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, to have people like that in the community that really care, that want to see you succeed, that will help you do anything, it's awesome. It's like, I knew that there were resources out there, right? You just have to want them. And I always thought that I wasn't strong, or maybe I'd be looked down on for asking for help, because I know I can't do it alone. I got custody of my kids back in July of 2024, and Carla and Roche showed up for me. I celebrated my 1 year clean on July 4th of 2024. They were there for that. They're just there all the time. This house that I'm in right now, they were there for that. The couch, they donated that. Well, the sponsors, so everybody, like, just everybody at that place is like, I don't know, I get really emotional because, like, I didn't think like this life that I have today would be possible. They have done a lot for me. They love you. They want the best for you. And I love them. I just want to break the cycle for my kids because it ends with me. No?
Raina's here, so Raina, would you mind standing? And I'm happy to also say we have a few of our mentees here, and if you don't mind standing, and then our mentors as well, that would be wonderful. We're so proud of you. And what I told Raina, because she was really nervous, I said, Raina, this room is full of people that support you. This room is to show you and all of the other mentees and all the other people that come after you that we're here for you and we want to help you. This room is to show you and everyone else that we care, and that we stand behind you, and that we see you, we hear you, and that we love you. With that said, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan Smith.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Puck, for this opportunity to sponsor a great organization. A while ago, I met Chuck Bills, and I bought Charles 3 years ago. And I asked Chuck, what can I do to get involved in this community? And Chuck said, invest in the community. So I invested in the company, right? But I didn't invest, in the community. So this was an opportunity that Puck pointed out to me that I am grateful for. I'm grateful for Chuck to, point me in this direction. So I'm thankful for that. So I'm also here to introduce Dr. Brenda Combs. So for 10 years, Dr. Combs was a homeless crack addict and criminal who had been shot, beaten, and raped. Today, having completely turned her life around, the media has lauded her journey as being from homeless to hero, a single mother who successfully obtained a doctorate in organizational leadership. Dr. Combs motivates others with her inspirational story of perseverance. If I can do it, anybody can do it, she says. I think every person has inside of them what it takes to succeed. Please help me welcome Dr. Brenda Combs.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's try this. Okay, how's that? All right, good morning. My name is Dr. Brenda Combs. I am the ambassador of inspiration, and I bring you greetings from Phoenix, Arizona. It's 110 there. This is quite different. And green and quiet. And I actually feel a lot safer here. I want to thank you for inviting me to come here, and I want to share with you a little bit of my story and my mentor and mentee relationship. I firmly believe in mentoring and pouring into others, because I feel that we all have been called to be good people, to love each other, to treat each other with love and kindness. That doesn't mean we have to be best friends. You're not going to always like everyone. Everyone's not going to be a friend, and not everyone's going to be a foe. But however, the more that you love, the more love is given to you. The more that you give out, the more is kind of going to come back to you. So I want to share with you how I'm standing before you today as Dr. Brenda Combs, but I was not always Dr. Brenda Combs. I grew up in Flagstaff, Arizona. Small town, kind of like this, green and beautiful and safe. But in first grade, I had my very first traumatic experience. A little boy threw mud in my hair, pushed me down, spit in my face, and then called me the N-word. I was the only person of color in my first grade class. So I ran to my teacher because certainly she was going to punish Grover and make me feel better. And I ran to her yelling, Miss Parker, Grover just spit in my face and threw mud in my hair and pushed me down and called me the N-word. And she looked me in the eye and she said, Brenda, wipe your face and get in line. And at that moment, my life changed forever. It was at that moment that I felt unloved. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel worthy. I already didn't feel like I fit in, and I was now scared to go to school every day by myself. And school was difficult for me from that point on. When I got to high school, I overheard some girls talking about they were going to graduate from high school early and go to college. And I thought, wow, that's my answer. If I graduate early and go to college, I'll be happy. I'll have friends. I'll be able to have a great life. I had dreams of being a ballerina, but my mom told me, girl, there are no black ballerinas. You need to get a job with benefits, marry a man that goes to church, and settle down. That's what she wanted me to do. I then had dreams of, like, I don't know, marrying Michael Jackson. And we know that's never gonna happen. Nor did I have a chance. And then I wanted to see my name in lights and be on Broadway. That kind of happened when I was a drug addict, but it was Broadway and 24th Street in Phoenix. And I decided, okay, I'm gonna go and do this, and I graduated. And I started college as a teenager, and guess what? I didn't fit in there either, because I was young and immature, and I was with adults, and they were partying, and I didn't know anything about that lifestyle. I came from a very close-knit Christian home where we went to church every Sunday as a family. We went to Bible study. We did family vacations. We played Monopoly. I mean, I came from a very good, solid family with two loving parents who encouraged us to get a great education. But they were not able to help me love myself. They weren't able to give me what I needed to make me feel as a person, to make me feel better about myself. I even thought God didn't like me because why was I having all of these horrible problems? But once I started college, I met a group that welcomes everyone. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this group, but they're called the Partiers. And I'm gonna tell you, those girls welcomed me with open arms. I finally felt like, oh, I've got friends. I fit in. They didn't judge me. They didn't care. And I started partying with them, and I felt alive. I felt vibrant. I felt good about myself till the next morning when I couldn't get up and go to class. But these girls, they got up, they went to class, they were taking care of business, and I was feeling horrible and hungover and didn't know how to really act, but wanted to just fit in. And then they were smoking weed, and I was like, I wanted to have friends, so I did whatever they did. But for me, it just didn't work. I ended up dropping a class, dropping another class, and eventually dropping out of school. And when I dropped out of school, that was the moment when I stopped having any options, choices, and opportunities. So I kind of did what my mom told me to do. I went and got a job for a paycheck, but I still wasn't happy. And I did have a boyfriend, and he was the one who introduced me to that little white monster that changed my life forever, called crack cocaine. It came into our community like a whirlwind and just took over. And from the first moment that I tried it, because I wanted to fit in, I immediately loved it. I felt powerful. I felt in control. I felt happy, and I had no problems. But the minute my highs started to go away, oh Lord, the problems came back tenfold. I had problems. I didn't feel good about myself. And it was at that moment when my boyfriend said, hey, do you want to go get some more? Well, yeah. And we did. And I didn't realize it at the moment, but every time when I started to feel, I needed to get high. Because when I got high, it took away the pain. It took away the fear. It took away the shame, the guilt. I felt happy, but miserable at the same time. And eventually it went from just getting high here and there to constant. And I was working as a waitress, so every day I had cash money on me. And I would go to work, and I'd leave work, and I'd go to the dope house, and I would buy, and then I'd go home and smoke, and then I'd sleep, go back to work, and eventually sleep didn't happen. And I was finding myself trying to volunteer and work more shifts to make more money so that I could leave there, go to the dope house, and eventually I was at the dope house all night, and then I would go back to work the next morning in the same clothes, work, go to the dope house, get high all night, and eventually my body gave out and I couldn't go back to work. I didn't wake up one day. And that's when the whole thing became like this domino effect. Eventually I lost the job. Eventually I lost the apartment. I started losing my clothes and other items and other possessions and sleeping in my car. And then eventually one day I sold the car. And still didn't dawn on me that I was homeless, that I was a drug addict, that I was not living a happy life. And along with that, I started hanging out with criminals and drug addicts and pimps and prostitutes and running and gunning and stealing and shoplifting and breaking and entering, and just became a criminal lifestyle. And before I knew it, I can't believe that 10 years went by of me just being homeless, because time is of no importance when you're an addict. Time is nothing when you're homeless. You never think about time. I mean, I remember one year, the only reason I knew it was Christmas Day was because Church on the Street came out to the zone to feed the homeless and have church service. That's the only reason I knew it was Christmas. Well, because it doesn't snow in Phoenix either, so every day looks the same. But time just flew by. And it wasn't all rainbows and cupcakes, because of course I was raped multiple times, beaten, left for dead, overdosed. I was shot in a drive-by shooting. I was hit with a 9mm and a .357. I was in the hospital for 6 months. It took me a year to learn how to walk again. And when I was finally able to get out, I still had the boot on my leg. Where did I go? I had nowhere to go. I had no help. I had no friends. I had nowhere to go, so I went right back down to the 7th Avenue Bridge in downtown Phoenix because I had nowhere else to go. I tried to commit suicide because people like me, I didn't like myself, I didn't love myself, I felt like there was no hope. I took a bottle of sleeping pills and a bottle of Demerol, about 30 pills. And guess what? I woke up the next morning. And I remember thinking, not only did I wake up the next morning, it was the dope man who had given me the drugs the night before who actually sprayed me down with the water hose to wake me up and called 911. I woke up and was still alive. And I literally thought to myself, my God, I can't even do this right. I'm still here. Like, I don't understand. What am I supposed to do? And it was, I had no hope. Now, I had gone to rehab. Of course I had, because as a homeless person, yes, I was arrested several times, in and out of jail, in and out of detox, in and out of mental health facilities, several different types of rehabs and intensive outpatient programs, and attending AA and going to meetings and living in sober living, but it just never stuck because I wasn't ready. I wasn't committed. I didn't realize I hadn't hit my bottom. And I was on probation. And I absconded. When I got out of jail, after doing 90 days, they gave me my papers, opened the doors, and I walked out onto Buckeye Road, and I was like, okay, I'm free. But where do I go? I left jail and went right back down to the zone. And I was sleeping in the alley, and when I woke up, someone had stolen the shoes off of my feet. A homeless woman, they were going to steal the shoes off of my feet while I was sleeping. In Phoenix, Arizona, in the summertime, shoes are more valuable than money. Because as a homeless woman, I am more vulnerable to being attacked and brutalized before a man would be. And so without shoes, when it's 100 degrees outside, how am I supposed to run to get help or go to a hospital or the police or the clinic? Someone stole my shoes and I had to walk down this alley that was littered with syringes and broken beer bottles and dead animals, and I had to walk through this and go a mile to get down to the zone where the homeless were. And it happened to be 115 degrees outside that day. And I walked a mile with no shoes on. When I made it to the park, my feet were cut, burned, blistered. I eventually ended up with 2nd and 3rd degree burns on the bottom of my feet. And when I got to that park, this was the moment my life changed. I fell down on my knees, and for the first time in 10 years, you know what I did? I said my prayers. Now, I did bargaining prayers in that 10-year time frame, and if you know what that means, we were like, oh God, please don't let me go to jail today. If you don't let me go to jail, I promise I'm gonna go back home, make amends to my family, and then I'm gonna go back to school. Oh God, please don't let my probation officer violate me today. If she just gives me one more chance, I promise I'm going to go to all of the classes, I'm going to pay my restitution, and then I'm going to go back home, make amends to my family, and go to school. Those were my bargaining prayers. And sometimes God answered those prayers, because many times I didn't get arrested. Or like I got pulled over one time and the police, their system was down. And as they were getting ready to handcuff me, a shooting happened around the corner and they let me go. In my mind, it was like, okay, God, I'll take that blessing. Yes. But I didn't realize that wasn't part of the plan. So I didn't keep my end of the bargain. Because of course I didn't go back home, make amends to my family, and go to school. No, I felt like, okay, God, I kind of got away with this one, so maybe this isn't the day I'm going to turn myself in. And I continued on that path until the day my shoes were stolen. So on my knees, for the first time, I said, God, I don't know what it is that I'm supposed to do with my life. I have no hope, I have no goals, and I don't even have any dreams. But I am begging you with everything within me that I don't want to be homeless and I don't want to be a drug addict. And you either have to take me or you have to take it away from me because I can't go on. And literally in that instant, the voice of God swept over me like a cool breeze of wind. I felt cool wind on my skin when it was 115 degrees outside. And I literally heard God say, okay, Brenda, I got you. Go turn yourself in. So I jumped up and I told everybody in the park, I'm gonna go turn myself in. They were like, yeah, okay, girl, sure you are. And I walked to my probation officer with no shoes on, and I turned myself in. And this is where my new mentor came into my life. I went and turned myself in, signed in. I have no shoes on. I'm filthy dirty. I haven't probably had any type of a spray down or a shower in over a month. Of course, I didn't own a toothbrush. I wasn't wearing perfume. I looked and smelled horrible. My PO came out, greeted me in the lobby, extending her hand, saying, hi, Brenda, come on back to my office. And I'm walking with shame because I know I smell, I'm dirty, just a hot mess. And I go to her office, she pulls the chair out and I sit down, and she said, what's going on? And I said, I'm turning myself in, I'm done, I can't do it. I just can't take it anymore. And I said, you know, I have no hope, so let's just go ahead. I'm ready. You can have them come and take me. She looked me in the eye and she said, Brenda, I know you do not love yourself, but I want you to know, I see something in you. I know that there is something good in you. I see it and I believe in you. And I am going to believe in you, help you, and love you until you are capable of loving yourself. However, this is going to be the last chance, because if you don't do it today, my supervisor is going to sign the warrant that I have begged her not to, because I told her, I know she's running the street, she's getting high, but I see there's something in her, I just feel it. And so her supervisor said, okay, I'm gonna trust you on this one. So she said, Brenda, I want you to go to the Center Against Sexual Abuse and Domestic Violence, and I want you to go to take an assertiveness training class so that you can learn that you are worthy, that you can do good things, that you can turn your life around. Doesn't matter you've been arrested 13 times, you can still be a good person. And she told me she loved me. And you know what? I believed her. She was so sincere. She wasn't frowning. She didn't cover up her nose because of my smell. She didn't make me feel less than. She made me feel loved. That changed my life. So I did everything she told me to do for the first time. Even though I did 13 different rehabs, I went into another one. But this time, my mindset was ready to do whatever they told me to do, whether I liked it or not, I was going to do it because I realized the people helping me had the one thing that I did not have: peace and happiness. Every time I saw them, they were smiling. They were happy. I didn't know if they ever had problems in their life because every time that I was around them, they were always happy and encouraging. My PO told me that she loved me. This is a woman who had the power of the pen to send me to prison. But she gave me an opportunity that I probably didn't deserve. I didn't feel like I did. And it was because of that I turned my life around, went through that last program, did 18 months in sober living, got married to an alcoholic in rehab. So those of you that, let me just throw a little note out, don't do it. Because they're going to tell you, hey, don't get involved with someone, you need to focus on your recovery. And I was like, yeah, but I'm Brenda Combs, you don't know me, we're in love, we're different. No, we're not different, it doesn't work. And we divorced, and my son had a massive stroke at birth. Oh, you know what, I forgot, I got pictures up here. That's my mugshot. That's when I got shot in the drive-by shooting. Now, this is not me without makeup, but this was me the last day that I was homeless at my PO's office, taking that picture. She looks sad. She looks like no hope. She looks like nothing is going to work out for her. This is the alley that I was raped and left for dead in. Still looks like that today. And then my son Michael. After I got clean, 5 years clean, I had this little boy who suffered a massive stroke at birth. He was paralyzed. He has permanent brain damage in the left cortex part of his brain. And my doctor, who knew my history, told me I need to just put him in a home because you're a black woman with a criminal record and no education. That's what he told me. Well, I couldn't get mad at him because what part did I play? Well, I am a black woman who had a criminal record and I had no education. And he was telling me the truth. And that's when it dawned on me, I've got to do even more than getting clean to turn my life around. So because I was a black woman with a criminal record, I knew that education would be the best opportunity for me to turn my life around and to get into society on a level ground. And so I completed my undergrad, completed my master's in 1 year. It was a 3-year program. And I went to the university and I said, hey, I think I might be able to want to go into like a PhD program, but I want to do it before I'm 50. Can I triple up on my classes? I'm also ADD. And they were like, sure. I started my master's on January 5th and completed it on December 24th of the same year. And that is what got the attention of the White House. And I was honored at my graduation by former First Lady Laura Bush and President George W. Bush naming me, a former crackhead, as Distinguished Teacher of the Year. Oh, go figure. And this is a cover from Reader's Digest with my son. When I graduated and got my degree, I went on to after that, I was honored as a CNN hero and presented with a full ride scholarship to be in Grand Canyon University's first doctoral program. And I was the first female and person of color to graduate with a doctorate at the university. Because of that, I then started a foundation called Finding My Shoes. Because someone took my shoes. And let me just say, it's probably a slim chance as I'm looking around here, but if by chance the person that stole my shoes is here, I just want to say thank you. You pushed me to my rock bottom to help me change my life. And because of that, we provide shoes, clothes, water, and hygiene items to those who are in need. And then the Lord brought a man to me that I actually met in the park. He had been a homeless, drug addict, alcoholic for 20 years, 5 times going to prison. The Lord brought him into my life in the middle of my doctoral program, and we decided, hey, let's get married. And we graduated together, 2 former homeless drug addicts. 10 years of homelessness for me, 20 years for him, and we graduated together, walking the stage together to show that absolutely nothing is impossible. We then started Making Things Better Sober Living, where today we run 5 sober living homes that are licensed and certified in Phoenix, Arizona, providing men and women with a clean, safe, stable, sober living environment. And then my one and only son, Michael, who had the stroke when he was 12, he brought home 5 homeless boys, there's not 5 of them in this picture, but who were homeless for various reasons, and I ended up adopting them, and we grew from a family of 1 to a family of 6. And then here is my son Michael today. He made a full recovery from his stroke, a national ambassador for the American Stroke Association because he is the youngest person to make a full recovery from his stroke, and he's graduating from college next Friday, going to Japan to play basketball. So I just want to end this with sharing with all of the mentors in the room, the next person that you mentor, you could be looking at them as my mentor looked at me. Giving them that hope, giving them that love, that encouragement to help them turn their lives around, because when they turn their lives around, it makes such an impact not only in their family, but the community. I turned my life around, started a foundation, started sober living, giving back to my community because my community gave to me. To all of you mentors, I love you, and I want to say thank you on behalf of those who can't speak right now to let you know how much they love and appreciate you. You are so needed. Please know that you are needed. The Lord is going to bless you intensely because you are giving freely of yourself and of your time to help others. If my PO didn't help me, I wouldn't be standing here today before you as Dr. Brenda Combs because I didn't have what it took. But she enabled me just by saying 3 words, I love you. I believe in you. It makes a difference. And for those of you who are being mentoring, please know the hard things will eventually get easier. And continue to believe in yourself. Hope is always going to be around. Sometimes it's quiet, but it's never gone. Keep believing. And I just want y'all to know that if you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. The time is now or never to make your dreams come true. You better wake up and pay attention. thank you guys for allowing me to come here and share with you that mentoring can really change people's lives and change the communities. I have books available over there that tell my life story. If you would like to get one and share it with your mentor or with anyone who is in need, to let them know absolutely nothing is impossible. Let's continue to work together as a community, helping and loving one another, because that's the way we're going to make the world a better place for us all. Thank y'all.
What a powerful presentation. Brenda, thank you so much, Dr. Combs, for sharing your story, sharing your life, and just giving us hope for what we're doing in our little town of Findlay in Hancock County. It just gives us so much, I guess it just gives us so much hope of what we're doing, right? That we're making an impact one person at a time. At this point in time, I would like to call Mayor Murr up to the stage, please.
Well, good morning. Thank you all for taking time to be here. And oh my gosh, Dr. Combs, I'm like trying to keep it together here. That was so incredible. And I just real quick, thank you again for being a part of this wonderful organization. And I want to challenge you all that as you go out, when we talk about trying to identify hope in people and being hope for people, real quick think that if something traumatic happened to you today, how many people you could call. And then imagine not having anyone to call. And so we have to look for those opportunities to be the person somebody can call. So as you go out, because so I don't just start crying uncontrollably, as you go out, I would love for you to, when you drive through a neighborhood or pass someone in a car or see a homeless person sitting on the street, take a moment to pray for them, that they feel your presence, feel that cold breeze, and feel the hope that there is. And then if you feel led to figure out how you help them. Whether it is saying, I care for you, can I buy you a meal? Can I take you somewhere? Can I call someone for you? Whatever that may be. So please look for those opportunities, because there are plenty of people, sometimes the people that you wouldn't expect, that don't feel that. So I'm sure many of us in this room have had a certain gentleman, as you walk, thank you, Carla. You probably walked into a room and a certain gentleman, Mr. Puck Rowe, has probably pointed at you. You've all gotten the point, or is it just me? It's just me that every time I walk into the room with Puck, he goes, I need to talk to you. I didn't do it, Puck, I swear I didn't do it. But I remember back in 2019 when I first took office, I got a phone call and Puck and Stan reached out and said, hey, we want to talk to you about this idea that we have and how this may benefit our community. And that idea was Welcome to a New Life, an opportunity to create hope and support for individuals in our community that were struggling with addiction, incarceration, all of the things that have been discussed here today. I also attend a Friday morning breakfast group periodically, and this breakfast group said, you know what, there's a guy that we think needs to be recognized, and would you be willing to recognize him somehow? And so it is my pleasure today to present Harold Puck Rowe Day in Findlay and Hancock County. I won't make you stand up here as I read this full statement. So let me read. I'm going to be getting a lot of pointing the next couple of weeks, I can tell. So a proclamation is sharing what is important to Please. It's something that's important to us, and celebrating the great people doing wonderful work in our community. You are a room full of difference makers in our community, whether it is starting a nonprofit or being the person somebody can call or helping donate to make things happen. We are so fortunate. And this man before me has been a wonderful advocate, ambassador, encourager, and difference maker. And so whereas Harold Puck Rowe brings strong leadership to both businesses and the community. He was employed at Columbia Gas of Ohio for 40 years, where he worked in budgeting, human and employee relations, public relations, and community relations. He used his skills not only to lead in the corporate world, but also to transform his community through tireless service. And whereas Puck served on 3 church board of trustees and chaired multiple successful fundraising campaigns for various congregations, he also chaired major campaigns for the local YMCA and United Way, raising over $6.8 million. During his time with United Way, he served as board president and founded the Gaslight Society, which has raised millions more for local causes. Whereas Puck's commitment extends across the community, he served on the boards of Findlay-Hancock County Chamber of Commerce, Findlay-Hancock County Community Foundation, the YMCA, Junior Achievement, Boy Scouts, Rotary Club, Campfire. For 20 years, he was a key member of the executive committee and served as the chair of the Community Development Foundation, helping lead the successful merger of the alliance. Puck was part of the pioneering group that fostered Findlay's relationship with Japan. Whereas in 2018, Stan Kajawa approached Puck with a bold vision to support individuals struggling with incarceration and addiction. After gathering insights from over 200 community members, they co-founded Welcome to a New Life. The organization was formally established as a 501c3 in 2019. Since then, it has helped countless individuals and their families begin again with hope and support. Puck has been the driving force beyond the program, constantly making connections and encouraging involvement as mentors, mentees, donors, and community partners. He's always finding ways to support the mission, whether it's visiting someone in jail, attending a court hearing, or offering a ride to someone in need. Now, therefore, I, Christina M. Mern, Mayor of the City of Findlay, Ohio, do hereby proclaim June 5th, 2025 as Harold Puck Rowe Day in Findlay, Ohio, and invite all citizens to join with me in recognizing and celebrating his remarkable leadership, compassion, and enduring service. May his example continue to inspire us all to build a stronger and caring community.
I want to meet that guy sometime. I didn't deserve that, but I am so honored, and I really don't know what to say. As we go through our lives, and each and every one of you can look up when you're alive, and every day that they were born, we get old enough to understand we have choices and decisions to make, and every choice and decision we make has an impact on that life. And if God blesses us to live that life, and if you can reach out and touch other people, I think that is what is expected to us to do as humans. A lot of major decisions, as I said, as you make in my life, and I can think of several, and I'm not going to bore you going through all of them, but I recall when I was with Columbia Gas, I was on that, whatever you want to call it, road, or whatever you want to call it, and one of the stops was from other cities, and one was stopped in Bowling Green. From Bowling Green, Ohio, I was expected to go to Columbus, and they came to me and said, "You're now in Columbus," and I said, "No, I'm not." And they said, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "Well, I have reasons, my wife, kids, etc." And they said, "Where do you want to go?" And I enjoyed the gentleman I worked for here. I loved him. If he's ever moved on, if you think I could handle Findlay, Ohio, I would like to get down there. About 6 months later, he was sent to New York to be president of New York, and they moved me down here, and that was the greatest thing that ever happened to this guy as far as my career goes, and to meet people. I can tell you right now, so much to say. This program, I honestly feel in my heart and soul could never have happened in another city. As you look around this room, look at the person on your right and look at the person on your left and across the table and behind you. It's you people and those who are unable to make it that make this happen, and this organization happen. And it has to give each one of you a warm feeling with the leadership of Carla, and we have Lisa, and we got Riche here, and the executive committee, and the mentors, and everything else. How they have stepped up. Somehow, there's a tremendous, tremendous power helping those people who made a mistake now getting the life and hope that they deserve. And God bless so much each one of you for what happened. I want to do one other thing here. I do want to say this. I apologize for taking so long. I can recall, it's funny how things happen. And I know we all can say that. I was selling the condo over 6 years ago and going down in Fort Myers, Florida with two of my sons were at. Rich has a second home, another son. And the cell fell through, and the next morning Stan Cajala called me, and I knew Stan, and he got back from Florida. And he called me to have lunch with him, explain from St. Michael's Church going into the jail and the witness inmate leaving, and he asked the deputy, he said, what happened to that guy? And he said, oh, well, just like all the other addicts, said it's like a roving door. They're in and out, in and out, in and out until they overdose and die. So Stan, being the heart person he was, he wanted to share it with you and know what could ever be done. And thanks to a good program that's been here for about 50 years, Children Mentoring, that came to mind and said, well, why can't you have adult mentoring? And long story short, we took about a year to talk to over 200 people. We went to the criminal justice system first and got tremendous support from everybody in the criminal justice system, both county and city. And everyone we talked to, over 200 people, and this is the truth, 100% support. The community needs it. So it took off from there, and I guess probably as you go through some things that I remember the last couple we interviewed, there was Kathy and Dwayne Jillett. We didn't go to them for money. We went to them for advice like we ask everybody else, and we want people to be honest with us and upfront with us because we had to know. And Kathy and Dwayne sat here, and Dwayne said, well, we did our homework before we came here, and here's what we're going to do. This was in September. So we're going to give you a $50,000 matching gift, and you can match it in 3 months. You met your first year's budget, which was $100,000. And 3 months later, at the Nehan Tavern, they gave us a check for $50,000, and that was the start of it. But that let us do something that's been extremely needed, blessed, and made this program successful. We were given the ability to hire Carla Benjamin as our executive director. Carla, you've done a fantastic job, and with Lisa and with Riche being part of that team, executive committee, it never would have succeeded without you and your leadership. And we mean that. Along that way, a couple other things that I can't mention everything, and I wish I could, but we'd be here for 3 days. Carla, our office was in the home. Carla's and Jake's home, in her home. Let's stop and think about this. Here's a program, it's starting to grow and in her home. A guy by the name of Gary Harps, we talked with first, called us and we talked and met with him early on. We met with him again, he said, where's your office? And we told him in Carla's home. So, yeah. Gary Harps gave us 3 fine offices and a conference room at no charge. We've been there now about 4 years, and to this program, that's probably well over $200,000. That's not had to come out of our budget. Wow. We do offer so much more than the, the real heroes, no doubt, are the mentors. I mean, when you have people step up and are volunteers and don't get paid, and it can take a human being who has made so many mistakes and change their lives, and in many cases, save their lives, I don't think there's another thing in life you could do if you can get that done, and you don't expect recognition, you don't expect thank you. All you know you do, you save someone's life and change their life, and you broke a cycle more than likely. I'd be remiss in not mentioning a few things. I remember when we all started and we hired Carla, the people who interviewed Carla was Stan and a guy by the name of John Malakas and Tamara Rooney. And we interviewed 6 people, and Carla was the last one. Folks, I want to tell you something. The other 5 were outstanding, but when Carla got there, she was out of this world. It was a no-brainer, as you could very agree, and so on. Along the way, we've had some people step up, and Patty Ayers, I'd be amazed if I didn't mention and how you've stepped up. Patty's been in charge of our fundraisers with Lee August II, and has been such a valuable people. And here I go, I'm gonna mention names, and I see Chuck Bill sitting over here, but I made a mistake, but all I can say is, and by the way, Dr. Combs, our thoughts and prayers are with you on the loss of your aunt. God bless you, and may she be at peace now, and you can take confidence God has her in his hands. Thank you all for coming here, and I know Carla has some things to say, and all I know is, Mayor, I mean this from my heart and soul. I didn't deserve that, but I am honored. Thank you so much.
I want to thank everyone, and we have one last thing to share our gratitude to everyone here. You all are making a difference one way or another.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you guys do. It means a lot to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my daddy.
I want to say thank you to Welcome to a New Life, and especially a big thank you to my mentor, Vince, for everything. And I wish you guys a lot of success in your program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to give a big thanks to everybody there for supporting me and helping me out along the way. I couldn't be more thankful.
New Life has changed my life. They have always been by my side. Thank you to everyone that works so hard to make a great program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for helping us. We appreciate you so much. God bless you.
Thank you for my mommy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.